Hello everyone, and welcome to this lecture on setting up PySpark. So this is just an extra lecture based off the past two lectures, and if you noticed, right now we can only use PySpark if we're in the correct Spark directory folder. In this lecture, we'll show you a quick way that allows you to import PySpark from any directory, so you don't have to worry about changing directory to that Spark home directory. Let's jump back to our terminal and show you how to install that Find Spark library and then use it. I'm going to go over to my virtual desktop now. Okay, here I am at the virtual desktop. First thing we want to do is open up the terminal. You can see I already have it here. So I'll open up my terminal, and the next thing I want to do is show you how right now PySpark is working. So if I call Python 3 and I hit enter, notice that if I ask to import PySpark here, I'll get back an error. It says no module named PySpark. However, if I quit out of this, if I move over to Spark, and then cd into, well, we can list everything. Cd then into Python, and then if I list this and call Python 3 here, and then say import PySpark, now I get no errors. So the main thing I want to do is, instead of having to change directory every time, use this Find Spark library that we're going to install to actually do the sort of connection process for me. There are other ways of doing this. You could just export the paths to your bash rc file, but this way is a little more clear and it's a little easier, so that's what we're going to do here. If you're familiar with Ubuntu systems, you can probably just set up and export the paths yourself. I'm going to quit this, so I'm just directly at my terminal, and then I'm also going to hit cd, so I go directly home, and I'm going to install this Find Spark library. So let me hit clear here, so I can clear everything, and then I will say pip3 install Find Spark. Hit enter, and then it says collecting Find Spark, and it's going to install it for you. So now the idea is to actually use Find Spark to do that connection for us. So what we need is the actual path to that Spark home directory. So let's get it. I'm going to list this, which shows Spark, so then I'm going to cd into Spark, and then I'm going to type pwd, which is going to print my working directory. So here I have it under home, Jose, and then Spark, etc., Hadoop. That's the actual path I want. So I will copy this. So I'm going to highlight that and then right click and copy. Now let's explore how we can actually use Find Spark. So I'm going to hit cd again. So I'm back in my home directory, and then I will type Python 3. So right now, since I'm at home, if I try to import PySpark, it'll give me an error. It says no module named PySpark. So let's use Find Spark to actually make this all work. I will import Find Spark, hit enter, and then I'm going to call findspark.init, and then I'm going to paste my actual string here of the file path. So I'll put a little quote there for the string, paste that in. Whoops, looks like I accidentally set this over. So if you hit paste, I accidentally hit enter there. So let me try this again, findspark.init, quote, the actual path, end quote, close parentheses, hit enter. And now I told Find Spark where it can actually find Spark for me. So once I've done that, I can hit import PySpark, and now it's working, even though I'm at my working directory. So that's all you have to do, and now you can use PySpark from any directory. So let's go over those key steps again, especially because I messed up a little bit here. All you had to do was check first, does import PySpark work? If it doesn't, if it gives back no module named PySpark, then call import find spark, and then what you have to do is pass in this directory up here where your actual Spark home is. So if you copy and paste and then hit enter, you might accidentally get this error, which just means you accidentally ran that code a little too soon. What you have to do is copy and paste it as a string inside of this init call, and then say import PySpark. And then everything should be working for you. So that's it. I'm going to do this one more time to the Jupyter Notebook. You can feel free to just continue and skip to the next lecture if you're done with this, but I just want to walk through one more time how this would look using the Jupyter Notebook system. So I'm going to quit Python here, and then I'll start my Jupyter Notebook. Again, I'm starting this directly from the home directory. And then if this is your first time running Jupyter Notebook, remember you have to copy and paste this token. By now, this should not be your first time. So we're going to say new Python 3 notebook, And then right now, if I say import PySpark, I should expect an error. So I get that error. Now let's use FindSpark to fix it. So I will say import FindSpark, Shift Enter, and then say FindSpark.init. And then I'm going to copy and paste that path to my actual Spark home, Shift Enter, and now if I import PySpark, I don't get any issues. All right, that's it. Make sure you do that if you're ever dealing with the lectures and you have this no module named PySpark issue. You can just use FindSpark, pass in your home directory of where Spark is located, and it should easily fix that. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you at the next lecture.